Greetings, Wayfarers. This is a short walkthrough of Wayfarers of the Farwood, a 5e travel-based setting and adventure where the wilderness reigns supreme. So let's have a look at it. First off, I can show you the world map that you see here below. The world map comes with the book, this printed version, and it contains, as you see, a number of hexes that covers the whole world map. This is very integral to playing this setting, as each hex may be an encounter while traveling through the Farwood that stretches across this whole plane of Lorsum. The Farwood is ever-changing and makes creating roads impossible because they are swept away by terrainches, perhaps as short as an hour or the next day at random intervals. So instead, the bastions of civilization have to communicate by sending daring troops called wayfaring companies between the bastions of civilization to connect them and to make civilization survive in this harsh environment. But more on that in the book. What also comes with this book is character sheets that are specialized for this setting to contain certain elements that are part of it, such as spirit augmentations, spirit points, modular armors, materials, and so forth. And also, this is fun, it comes with a few stickers, and or 3 sheets of stickers actually. So these stickers can be used to mark things that you find on the world map. So each world map will be different for each time people play this game or play this setting. And some are just dungeons that you can revisit. Some are wild societies that are like small towns that you might find, or other more mysterious things. All of these are explained in the book, of course. So if we take a quick look at the book, we can start off by just diving in to the first pages. Here you see a illustration of a wayfarer that has just climbed this cliff. Her compatriots can be seen here in the dark part, perhaps not on camera, but they are here. And she's looking out across this valley, and where she thought she would just climb up to search for the best path forward, she instead is met by this awesome view of this elemental beast called Barandor, which is one of the primal gods of the plane that actually walks across the Farwood, that you can actually meet if you're lucky or unlucky. The contents of the book. The book is divided into 4 parts and an appendix at the end. The first part is the World of Lorsum, which is a game master's guide, more or less, where we explain the concepts of this plane and also its history and the culture and so on. And you also get a part about the gods. There are both the primal gods and the lesser gods. Then we have a large part of the book which is called Running the Game. It has a travel process which is fundamental to traveling across this generated landscape, and it has a lot of encounters that you can select from while traveling. Then we have a part of the game or part of the book that's called the Iron Thieves campaign. It's a campaign for characters from level 1 to 10, so it's easy to start with this campaign if you want to. You can switch it out, and just take parts of it, but it's an easy way to introduce characters into this world. And then we have a player's guide at the end for all the players, with a new class called the Spirit Chanter, and also new subclasses for each regular class. So that's a lot of fun. So this is just more on the different parts. So the World of Lorsum explains for the game master the setting of how it works, what this world's history is. And here we see a illustration of a monk that has a typical feathered coat that they often wear. Part of the Zenith order, or the Sun order. We have an explanation of how these terror launches work that randomize the terrain, and also about wayfaring companies, that the world has very little metal, and that if you are a metal wielding character, you could be called an iron wielder and are often of some legendary renown. Of course, the journey is the most important part of this setting, the actual traveling from one place to another. So it's further described here. And it goes on with a lot of detail for the game master. Then it moves on into eventually the running the game chapter, which has a lot of details about how you can travel across this world. The most important part here is the travel process, which describes step by step how one day of travel more or less plays out, or also a full journey. So the first step is before travel, then these steps are repeated each day, and then at the end of travel you just reset stuff more or less. It is also explained here in this flow chart. Here we have the world map again in the book. This is indicated here, the different steps of the travel process. So you get more details here on what to roll and what the results of those rolls are and so on. And then we eventually have all these encounters that I mentioned that just go on, and each flag here indicates what type of terrain this encounter will be placed in. And they are divided into different danger ratings. So depending on how well the Wayfarers navigate the Farwood, they might bump into events of different danger rating. And sometimes you stay and fight, sometimes you flee. Yeah, like in any campaign. Eventually it goes into the Iron Thieves campaign, which starts off with an adventure synopsis. The campaign is divided into 4 chapters, and at the start here it also has a text about the antagonist and her motivations and the different factions and main characters and so on. And then we'll go into chapter 1, and each chapter has a few different settlements and a few different towns and cities and so on that are more deeply explained here. So this, even though if you're not playing the campaign, it might contain a lot of interesting information about the world that you might want to use if you're just setting up your own campaign. And then we have the player's guide. And the player's guide begins with how you can create your Wayfarer, the different playable races, and how they differ perhaps from a regular setting. We have the Spirit Chanter class, the new class that comes with this setting, and also subclasses for all the regular classes. So, and the player's guide then continues with some descriptions about the Farwood that a Wayfarer probably would know, some descriptions about the gods, some special rules, and then eventually a materials library that you can use to look for materials within the Farwood. The book ends with an appendix with some monster stats and a woe encounter generator, where the game master can, with a few rolls, create an encounter with the plant elemental beings that are known as the woe, that are like an immune system within the Farwood and try to keep any intruders out. So these monster templates are divided into challenge rating. So if you want to create a thorn slinger of a certain challenge rating, you just have to look, okay, at challenge rating 2 it would have size medium and a armor class of 15 and so on and so on. And you can see here then that they would have these abilities. All of this is explained at the beginning of the WoW encounter generator. And the book ends with a thanks to our backers. So that's all. If you want more detailed descriptions of the concepts in the book, please let me know in the comments or by sending me a message. And I hope that you will enjoy the book and that your journey will be both fun and a little bit dangerous.